It's difficult. It's one of my least favorite subjects actually. And it's because I have a hard time applying it. I have a hard time thinking of something smaller than the eye can see. That something like an atom could actually be made up of smaller things like protons and neutrons. But a couple of years ago, I started to take physics. Now, this was something that I could understand. Why, when a ball flies through the air, does it go to the right or to the left or just stop? Don't let them rolling around. For example, with a smooth ball, when you throw it through the air, it is automatically going against the grain of the air. And so, as it's flying through the air, the entire ball is absorbing the friction and making the ball go slower. But, on a ball with seams, when you throw the ball, the seams move the air out of the way, making the ball go faster. So, before I go any further, I have to explain something to you. Boys and girls are made differently. It's just true. I'm not trying to be sexist, it's just true. Boys are typically stronger in their arms and their torso. So baseball players use this to their advantage. If the catcher was over here, they pivot on their right leg, they make an L shape with their thigh, they bring their arms up, they rear back, and they throw. This way they are using their arms and their tight torso to throw. Girls, however, this is actually a T-ball, by the way, but it's what I had. Girls, however, are typically stronger in their hips and their thighs. So, if the catcher was this way, we fling down with our arms, we make a K with our entire body, we plant our foot, we push through, and we throw. This allows us to use our legs to make the ball go faster. Professional athletes can throw a softball at 70 miles per hour. One way we use physics to help us throw different kinds of pitches is the fastball. You see how these seams make a C? We're going to put our fingers on the top of that C, tuck our pinky behind, and as we go down and through, and we flick the ball like that, it allows all 4 seams, which is the maximum number you can have, to fly through the air, making the ball go faster. Another pitch that you can throw is called a curveball. You see that C again? You put your fingers along that C and you tuck your knuckle. You go down and up, and this time you're going to plant your foot slightly to the left. If you planted it all the way out here, this would be an illegal pitch. So you just kind of walk that line and go a little bit out. And as you go down, you tuck your elbow in and you flick through, making a gun, and you're going to put it in its holster. This makes the entire ball spin through the air and come to the inside half of the batter. Another pitch you can throw is called a screwball. And this is where that C word we were talking about becomes an upside down smiley face. And you put your pointer and your middle finger close together, not right beside each other or else you wouldn't have a whole lot of a grip. And you put your ring finger further apart and you put your pinky along this seam. You always want to put your fingers on seams because seams are what change the direction of the ball. And you go down and up and slightly to the right, not all the way to the right because that would be an illegal pitch, and then the batter is behind you. So you're going to walk that line, put it down, and this time, instead of going this way, you're going to fire your gun out. This will make the ball spin so that it goes to the outside half of the plate. Now, why would you want to change what side of the plate it goes to? Well, that's because a straight up middle pitch is really easy to hit. And you don't have a lot of time to see the direction of the ball, so you're thinking, oh, well that looks like a really nice middle pitch. And so you start to swing, but then the ball starts to curve, and you look like a straight up fool. Now, one thing that I mentioned that I'm not sure you guys quite understand, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. I use the term professional athlete. Most people don't understand that there is a professional softball league. It has been around for about 15 years. There are 5 or 6 teams, and they're wildly unpopular. I don't understand why. 2 years ago, I got to go see a professional game. That was really cool. And then my dad took me to go see a college game at UNT versus Tulsa University, and I got a game ball signed by the team. Jill Barrett signed my ball, and she went on to play professional softball using that number 17 that she signed my ball with. One thing that you may not have also noticed, you may not have been particularly like, woo, is that 70 miles per hour. You thought, well, that's all right, because a baseball player can throw at 100 miles per hour. Well, something people don't realize is softball fields are a lot smaller. If this was home plate and first base was over there, it's 60 feet from home plate to first in softball. In baseball, it's 90, meaning that the whole field shrinks. From home plate to the pitcher's mound in baseball is 60 feet 6 inches. In softball, it is 43 feet. So here's a little math equation for you. If a baseball player throws a baseball at 100 miles per hour from 60 feet 6 inches away, and a softball player throws a ball at 70 miles per hour from 43 feet away, which ball will hit the catcher's mitt first? Answer, softball. By 0.35 seconds is how long it takes a softball to the catcher's mitt. It takes a baseball 0.38 seconds. Those 0.03 of a second may not sound like a lot to you, but with that 90 feet base length, it takes 3.2 seconds for a softball player to run from home to first. It takes a baseball player 4.2 seconds. So that 0.03 of a second turns into a full second. So now maybe you understand why people say that baseball or softball is a game of science. But here's the thing, I'm not really a fan of science. To me, softball is a game of physics. I return all control to the Toastmaster.